All right, I'll call the meeting to order at 5:04 on September 11th, 2024, the monthly library board meeting. So can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Brittany, can you please do the roll call? Right.
Kristen? Here. Carrie? Here. Jennifer?
Here.
Michelle?
Here.
Alderman Decker?
Here.
Alright, hold on a second. I need to catch up with my my writing here. Just one second. Sorry.
Is everything okay?
Yes, I'm just trying to make sure that I have everything. All right. Trustee Woodward, here. Yep. Trustee DeAngelis.
You.
Trustee Schrader. There she is.
She's muted.
Hello.
No, she muted herself. Hi, Barb. We can't hear her.
Oh, she's
Oh, my computer's at 100.
Barb,
It shows it as muted. The microphone is muted.
oh yeah, up on the right. There you go.
But, well, maybe she'll unmute it. Are you able to unmute and speak, Barb, or does it not work?
Oh,
Now
there
we
we
go.
go. Now we
All
can
right.
hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Very good. All right.
If you need another minute, that's fine.
Nope, that's okay. No, sorry. I was just, thought I forgot something later on, and I was just trying to get my head straight.
Okay. Take your time.
All right, we're good.
Can you please give the statement of public notice?
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law.
And public comment. I do not see any members of the public here or online. Moving on to the consent agenda. Can I please get a motion to approve the minutes from our August 20th, 2024 meeting and the August 2024 financials?
I move to approve.
Thank you, Carrie.
Second.
Thank you, Phyllis. And now, any discussion or questions on either?
I'm sorry, Phyllis was the second. Who was first?
Carrie.
On page 6, where it has J.M. Brennan Incorporated, it's about halfway through the page. It has the HVAC, preventative maintenance, and then the air fan tripping. I remember last month you were talking about that we had a big problem. Is this? No, this is not that big problem.
No. No, the preventative maintenance is the preventative maintenance designed to, keep things humming along. The air handling unit number 2 return fan air tripping was just I would call this a minor special problem. I wouldn't even normally call that out to you. That's just sort of the cost of doing business. So the sprinkler system is the pipe that leaked in my office.
Right.
And then the HVAC condensing unit, that's going to be about $10,000.
Right. I remember you
Yeah.
saying that, and I thought, well, this wasn't as bad as
Yeah,
that.
sorry. You can still be sad about it. Yeah.
And then a little further down the page where it says La Crosse County Library.
Yeah, that
owed
book.
money to them.
Yeah, that book was damaged while it was sent here, and so we need to pay them back.
So it was damaged on the way here? Or?
I actually don't know the specifics of it. I just know that that's what happens when we see that. Usually what happens is it's the patron's responsibility. We cut the check, and then the patron cuts us the check.
Okay.
And we put it in our account. It's possible it was our fault. I mean, maybe somebody dropped it in a puddle when they wouldn't have ever been outside. I don't know what could have happened.
Okay.
Where maybe it was our fault and then we had to pay for it. But it's also possible if it was the patron who checked it out through interlibrary loan. We got it sent here from La Crosse. They spilled chocolate milk on it, and we send the money to them, and we put the money in our damaged and replacement fund. So.
Okay.
What else area?
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, that's, gosh, what is that next door?
Is that on the Fritz, whatever that is?
Nope, that's normal.
Okay,
That's normal.
coming along.
Could that wall use a little bit of insulation? Probably,
Okay.
but that's what it does. If you look at our budget, things are pretty normal. The maintenance of building and ground, it's not over yet. Again, it will be. It's just a matter of how much, but as of now, because of the no maintenance, we know still to come. The lawn care, we know still to come. Things like that. But right now, it's still only at 77.6% of total. So we have not hit that mark yet. Everything else, the other accounts are doing pretty well, moving along. So.
Any other questions? All right. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Barb. President's report. I don't have a report per se, but I wanted to welcome our newest member, representative from the school board. Did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm the K-8 librarian for Muskego Norway Schools. Started in August. So my name's Jenny, or Jennifer Weed.
Welcome.
How would you
Welcome.
prefer to be addressed?
Either Jenny or Jennifer.
Okay.
Whichever.
Just gonna let us be creative. with
Yeah.
it.
Whatever you feel.
And you rotate between the schools then, right?
Yeah, the 3 elementaries and the 2 middle schools.
Okay. My son's at Mill Valley, my daughter's at Lake Tahoe.
Oh, yeah.
They love the library. So
Yeah.
you might see that. Get to know that.
Perfect.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Michelle Humphreys, right now the board president. Alderman, do you want to introduce yourselves real quick?
Dennis Decker, Alderman, District 3.
Phyllis Woodward.
Dave DeAngelis.
Kristen Listman.
Carrie Founder.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Barb, can you hear us?
Yeah, so I can hear
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you're muffled too for us.
Yeah, and that doesn't seem to be coming out. Excuse me, I'm being squeezed in. I thought I turned this on, but it doesn't seem to be. I just turned it off. Because the whole point of this thing is to make it easier for people on Zoom. So let's try this. Wireless Bluetooth. Okay. Your default speaker has changed. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, Barb, can you hear better now?
Well, I hear you, but I hear a problem with the other people.
Okay, I think it was a speaker issue. It wasn't transmitting wirelessly, so now I've connected it to my laptop, and I'm just gonna shove it as far. Michelle, can you try speaking?
Sure. Hi, Barb. Can you hear me better now?
You're clearer, but you still are far away.
Okay. Well, I am, so maybe that's why. I can speak louder for you.
Hey, Barb, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I hear you fine.
All right. Excellent. So I don't know if you heard, our newest member is the representative for the school district, and her name is Jennifer, or Jenny. So we were just introducing ourselves to her.
Okay, well, I'm Barb Schrader. Hi.
Sorry, Barb. The speaker's working now, so it should be less muffled.
Okay.
All right, that was the president's report. Director's report.
All right, packet page 14. So you'll notice there's some photos here this month, just trying to be a little zesty for the end of summer, for lack of a better term. I also think pictures really help illustrate some of the things going on. Just a couple of highlights. Our adult reading program had the highest participation ever, 504 people, so that's really great. We had 373 people visit our National Night Out booth. It was gorgeous there. Beautiful night, great community event. Really great to see everybody come out and support our police fire and learn more about them. We were able to hand out bookmarks that we wanted to have a safety component to it. Last year we had police and fire books that we have. This year we did water and bike safety books that we handed out, like the bookmark that had them on it, so that was nice. So that was really fun. The Bridges Library System had a scavenger hunt where people could visit different libraries, and if they went to all of them, they could be entered to win a prize. The grand prize winner was actually one of our patrons from Muskego, so that's really exciting. And we had 515 people who visited our library from other libraries between Waukesha and Jefferson County. And again, not to brag, but like when they come in, they're just always really amazed, right? They say it's a beautiful building. They love the soaring ceilings. They think it's really well kept up, and they spend time looking around. And they wouldn't have to say that. They could just walk in and say, "Stamp my booklet." So they go out of their way to say that it's an impressive building. So we should be proud of it.
What was the grand prize?
I think it was escape room tickets to look for like a package for like a group of people to go.
Oh, that's fun.
Let's see here. What else do we have going on? Looking at the children, that photo is from our Storytime on a Bus event. That's Courtney reading to the kids. We have lots of adorable photos on Facebook. I just didn't want to show kids' faces. I mean, we're allowed to according to the photography policy and whatnot, but still, at least in a formal government packet, I just didn't want it in there. I know it's on social media everywhere, but still, that was my line for that. So just know there were lots of adorable faces. Both of the buses were completely full for both story times. And again, just a shout out to Dairyland for donating that bus and their time to stop by. Our children's summer reading program had, as you can see, over 1,200 kids sign up. So that was very successful as well. So we're moving into our fall programming now. So all of our early literacy story times have started again, and our monthly graphic novel club that our children's librarian Emma is running. We're going to be having our Lego club, which is for all ages, and our block party, which helps with socialization and dexterity and space movement for the little ones. So all those things are coming up. So it's fun to shift to fall programming. For teen, we had 233 teens signed up for the summer reading program, which is amazing. Programs were well attended. And right now, Amanda and Jolynn, one of our reference assistants, Amanda, our teen librarian, they're working very hard on the escape room. Escape rooms are something that we've done in the past. We took a couple of years off and just did break-in bags, which is like the reverse. You unlock codes and break into them. But escape rooms take a lot of time and decorations, and we always have lots of attendees. In order to maximize the amount of people that can attend this escape room, we are using this space. So it's going to be completely decorated. That is why we are moving the October meeting to be one of the meeting rooms out there, because what we found is in the past when we did it out there, then we had to take that room offline and the public couldn't use it, but we also wanted to keep it set up as long as possible to let as many people go through. So I apologize for the inconvenience of moving us all out there. I thought about having it in here amongst the decorations, but I just thought it's going to be a video recorded forever and we're sitting amongst Halloween Town decorations, and that just didn't. I decided that was a no-go. So you're certainly going to be welcome to take a peek in and look at it. In fact, I think it would be fun if we all did walk back there, but not where we'll hold the meeting. So we are excited about that. Registration is forthcoming. Back to page 17. September is Get a Library Card Month. We just have a little display that outlines the value of getting a library card. Labor Day weekend, we had lots of hold requests by Tuesday and check-ins, and that was a sample of our hold shelf, what it looked like. So lots of people were excited and ready to pick up their books. Okay, dates of note, couple of things. So our next board meeting is October 15th, so back to our third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Meeting room 3 is the location, again, to accommodate the escape room that we'll be running in here. Strategic Planning Committee. Okay, I should have written this down. Who's on Strategic Planning? Phyllis, I think you are. Officially now.
Yeah. There was four, I just came.
There was a time when I accidentally forgot to invite Carrie, did invite Phyllis. Poor Phyllis was like, I guess I'll show up. And Carrie was like, I'll show up because Brittany didn't invite me, but I know I'm supposed to be there. That was a disaster. You guys are very patient with me in that moment. Yes. Who's the
I think it's me.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, guys. Yeah.
I think it's me.
I wrote this down in advance. I'm a little sleep deprived today, so I think we have some illness in the family. Nothing, it's just colds, but it's the first day back, first week back of school and everyone's getting sick, so. Yes, so I will be sending out, that's okay, I'm feeling fine. Where was I? Strategic Planning Committee, we're going to meet in October to discuss a draft of the 2025 action plan, so I'm working on that with staff right now. We pull it from our strategic plan, so you'll be hearing from me soon for us to set up that meeting, and then of course it goes before the full board so you guys can get final feedback with the goal of reviewing it once in November, first read, second read in December, and voting on it, and then it goes into effect in January. So that process is coming up. October 17th is Bridges Trustee Appreciation Night. There is going to be a speaker and appetizers. It's held at Brookfield Public Library this year. Last year it was at Watertown, right? Because I know you were there. Invitations are forthcoming. You will likely receive something from the library system in your email. It is not something that's required. It is fun to go to. It's nice to meet up with other trustees, to hear of a topic of interest about libraries. There's always like poster boards about what the different libraries are doing. Carrie, do you have anything to add, like what you thought of it, or?
It was very nice. It's nice to go and view like another library and meet other trustees at other libraries. And
It was very dark that night when we drove back from
it was very
Watertown.
dark.
Yeah, that was.
That's
It
wild
was,
out there.
it was
It
a long
is.
drive.
It
It was
is. Were
really,
you there too?
It was really
No,
beautiful
okay.
though.
But I visited this summer.
Yeah.
There was a full moon last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
What time does that usually start?
I think 5.
Like 5 to 7, like appetizers.
It's something like that. Yeah, and there were appetizers and desserts. I remember that.
The desserts were good.
Everything was very nice.
Well, it used to be we'd get a full meal and go to a hotel reception
Yeah,
hall
that's
and dine.
right.
That
It
was
was.
pre-COVID. I went a couple times.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Do they rotate the libraries that host it every year?
They
Yes.
do.
Are
Yeah.
we going to get a turn?
That's a great question. So right now they're picking libraries that have really big spaces to accommodate. Our biggest space would either be meeting room 4 or meeting rooms 1, 2, and 3, and I think that would be a little tight to pack them in. So I think what they try to do is maybe alternate between Jefferson County and Waukesha County libraries. But within Jefferson County, there's only so many libraries I think that could accommodate that size. So.
It also seemed to me that the libraries that had just had something major renovation-wise
Yeah, that's true.
were the ones that were picked so that they
That's
could
true.
kind of showcase.
That's
Yeah.
why we've redone everything the past 5 years.
I know.
That's true.
Show that off.
We did host the library directors monthly meeting here in April. The only way I could see us being able to host the trustee meeting here would be if we held it in the great room, and that would require shutting the library down, which would be difficult. We want a meal, so we're going to shut the library down. So yeah, but it's a good time. It's a nice evening. I will be there, and so if you are interested, they will ask for an RSVP. So September 12th, is that?
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Is the next Friends fundraiser Culver's night. So if you're hungry for chicken tenders, hold on to that until tomorrow and then go. The other good thing the Friends want to remind everyone is that even if you're not hungry tomorrow for Culver's, you can just buy a gift card there. It's just the total sales. 10% of the sales go back to the Friends, so you can always just pick up a gift card and use it a different night. That's what I'm going to be doing.
And you don't have to say I'm supporting the library or anything, just every sale between 5 and 9 will go to, or the percentage will go to the Friends, so.
It's really nice. We do have a member of the Friends that will be there during the entire time, though. They kind of walk around and say hi and talk about the Friends. So,
I have bookmarks and stuff.
you know what? I know they have brochures.
Okay.
We should get a nice bookmark for the Friends. That would be cool. And then, of course, we're working on our Santa's Booked at the Library fundraiser, which will be on December 7th. So we already have Santa reserved from the North Pole, so good to go there. Oh, I just found out today we did not get the grant I applied for in May, so I'm sad about that. But we did present before the Women's Club on Monday, and I believe we will be getting some positive news, it sounded like. So,
It was a nice presentation.
it was.
good.
It was.
Thank you.
I haven't heard from any members of the board about anything formal on that yet. I had to leave the meeting a little early.
Yeah.
If and when there is any vote, I will be recusing myself from it.
Yeah.
But I'm very hopeful that the library will get some support.
That would be exciting. It was a lovely group. You guys had the meeting room 4 packed. I mean, there had to have been, 70 to 100 people in there?
Oh, wow.
It
That was
was-
what was going on.
It was busy.
It was
Yeah.
packed. You guys had quite the crowd, and it was fun to see so many familiar faces in
Were we
there.
asking for something specific from them?
Yeah, we were presenting, the Women's Club was so kind to donate the toys in the toy area in 2018 when it opened, and the children have loved them to pieces. And so the Women's Club were kind enough to offer that we could come and present, and so Emma, our children's librarian, and I went and presented on that, as well as the two OPACs, the catalog computer stations in the kids area. They're very slow. Actually, they're all slow, but because our scope was the children's area, we were asking for some funding to replace those. So we are excited and hopeful for that. It was a very welcoming presentation. So
It was really nice because when organizations want to come to with an ask, it's so nice to see a face and get that in-person time and education versus, hey, give us some money. And so for any organization anywhere, it's just such a nice touch. And it was a nice presentation to boot.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. I will pass that along to Emma as well. We did practice to make sure that we knew our business. So that's great to hear. Let's see. Samantha Quayle, our head of reference, her employee anniversary is this month, 12 years, so that is really exciting. This must be a good place to work for. And let's see here. We have some new state resources. The state of Wisconsin, the Department of Education, they took out to RFP for their string of databases that they call BadgerLink. And through that RFP process, that request for purchase, process, some of them remained the same and some of them swapped out. I wouldn't say that there was anything crazy that happened. There's a new auto repair resource called Chilton something. It was pretty nice. Like if you're somebody who likes to repair cars or motorcycles or boats, it would be a great help to you because it has like all the manuals and explains all the different parts and pieces and stuff. They no longer are subscribing to Learning Express, which I think is a little unfortunate because I liked it. I don't know about you, Jennifer, but like I thought that like the practice tests for the different like
any
career
learning
paths.
resource,
So I was disappointed that didn't get used. But all those databases are there. But I do want to differentiate. There are BadgerLink resources that we link to through our website, but they're paid for through the state. And then there are databases that the Bridges library system just pays for. So that's only for our member libraries. And of course, we, the Muskego library, pay into it. And that's like our consumer reports subscription that people can get access to online, Ancestry.com, which you unfortunately have to be here to look at. That's not something you can do from home. But those are not part of the state purchase. That's just resources prioritized by the library system and by our member libraries. So. And on packet page 19, I just want to call out a few things. The library visits specifically. So I think you may have noticed from my board packet last month, we have had, this has been a difficult year. Lots of my time spent fixing things, some of which we didn't know would break, some of the things that should have never broken. And our RFID process, like the self-checks are amazing. It's really improved a lot. But those gates have been a little wacky. They are fine now. We finally figured it out. It took a lot of back and forth, lots of talking to different people, lots of telling them it's wrong. So I had originally thought that only our first 3 months of counting data, so anytime you walk through the gate counts it, and that's how we know our library visit data. At first I had thought only January, February, March was wrong, and then looking back on it, I realized that even though we thought we'd fixed it, we actually hadn't. So I've wiped out all those numbers through July, and I'm really, really sad about that because I actually think July had was huge. I mean, I would have really liked to have told you how many people went through, but I don't trust that data, so I'm not going to show it. So August is our first month that is back with the statistics. And those statistics, it does make sense. I correlate that according to other things like our checkout percentages and just other things. So I know that that's accurate. I have tested the gates. I spent a lot of time walking in and out of them and then checking the numbers. People thought I was a little nutty, probably, but I was really wanting to make sure that we could rely on this data. So it is it's mended, it's good to go, but that's why you see it blank there. And I just want to also point out our reference transactions and our technical transactions. You can see for August the leap that they took. Lots of people asking questions, lots of technology-related questions that we were helping people with. So those service desks, we put people there for a reason. It's really important to have people there to do that. So. Is that it for my report? I think so.
All right, thanks, Brittany.
Thank you.
Moving on to unfinished business. Discussion, 2024 action plan and director goals mid-year update.
So we had this on the agenda last month. We had to have a quick meeting, and so I just wanted to make sure if anyone still had any other lingering questions about my update for you on our progress on the 2024 action plan, that I could answer that. I didn't receive any emails in the in-between, which I had said you certainly could do if there was anything on your mind. So, but since we were having the meeting anyway, and since we really had kind of a light month, I just wanted to offer up this opportunity again for anyone to ask any questions of me. And while you're looking at that, I will just say in terms of my goals, things are going well. I have a portion of these action items that are assigned to me. That was one of my goals, and so I'm chipping away at them. I will say that, you know, in some respects, if I had to look at my entire year as an engineered robot, to some extent I am a bit behind because things pop up, right? I know I've said this before, but that pipe burst and having to do all those repairs into March really did use up my time that could have been spent elsewhere. And then just other projects like this RFID, and we're upgrading our Wi-Fi printing, and nothing is happening nothing is as quick as flipping a switch, and we've had some issues with that too. So I'm feeling confident in the action items that I'm working on, but those things definitely occupied some time. One of my goals was to clean my office. That was the goal I recommended that you give me, because I have just, you know, when you've lived in a space for a certain amount of years and then you start throwing things in a closet and then eventually the closet falls back out at you, we're sort of at that point with my office. So I just needed some accountability there. Luckily, the pipe leaked in my office, and that really helped spur me onward. So I have, please don't look at my office now, by the way. It doesn't look, it's better than it was, but it's still not great. So I'm working on that. And, you know, a few of the other goals, which I'll continue to update you on further in the year. So I'm working on my stuff. Any other questions? Again, I'll just call out the key in the top right corner that denotes if it's completed, if it's in progress. If it doesn't have anything next to it, we just haven't started it yet, but I'm still hopeful we'll get to it. If I put a D next to it, it just means I already know it's not going to happen. Like, for example, one of our things was a test on doing a roving reference in the summer in our kids area after programs, because we know there's more people in the kids area. They tend to be swarming around. Well, summer came and went, and we weren't able to launch that, and so I have to defer that because the point of it is to do it in the summer. So. Excited for this Wi-Fi printing. Look at that. I put a C next to it thinking, because I had scheduled the work and I figured all they had to do was flip a switch. we're having to make some more adjustments to the base code of the software in order to get it to do what we want. But when we're done, all you're going to have to do is forward the email with the attachment and then walk up to the release station and print it. Before, people had to get on our Wi-Fi, they had to save the file to their phone, then they had to log on to a non-mobily responsive website, try to zoom it in as best they could, and go through all these steps. It was really difficult for our patrons. So very shortly, we will have a much improved experience for people. And interestingly enough, more people don't have printers in their homes now. Just the cost of ink and how little people do need to print. When they need it, they're often coming to the library of all ages. So.
Any other questions or comments? Good job. I've made a lot of progress even despite all of these unexpected issues we've had this year. Thank you. New opportunities. All right, moving on to new business. I guess it's my new business. We have a vacancy on the Personnel Committee. Right now, it's just me and Dave, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yep. And so we're the committee that evaluates Brittany's performance at the end of the year, and we actually have never been on it, so I don't know exactly how it works, but we fill out a whole thing, right, and then we bring it to the board in a closed session and talk about it as a board.
Yeah.
Get that approved.
Yeah, because the board has to evaluate me, but we know that sometimes we want to do things in committee first. So what the Personnel Committee does is they meet with you guys as a full board to gather feedback about me. Then they also meet with the library managers to get a staff perspective, and then they meet, I had them do this last year, I thought it was a good idea, to meet with the president of the Friends of the Library to get because we work very closely, and they're like a community extension, but connected to the library. So the Personnel Committee gathers all that feedback, gathers all the feedback from the full board, writes up the eval, and then the person who's chairing personnel then gives me my evaluation independently. So that's how it's worked in the past. I'm always open to new ideas, but that's how it goes. But as you said, usually we have 3 people on it. Right now we have 2. So.
But it's not required that we have 3. Just putting it out there. But would anybody like to volunteer to be the 3rd person on personnel?
Brittany,
Yes.
I think I did volunteer to be on that when you originally spoke.
Yeah, I think you said, if I recall, if no one else was.
If nobody else.
Yeah.
Well, if you're sure, Barb, we'd love to have you.
Well, I wouldn't mind, but I don't want to write reports or things like that.
Is someone else willing to type it up if Barb is present to sing my praises, right?
Yeah, we will force you to, Barb.
I have a good voice for that.
Okay, well then we'll appoint Barb. Do we need to vote on that, or is that just
Nope,
an appointee
it's
by
a
me, right?
presidential appointee.
All right, well then I officially appoint Barb as our 3rd personnel committee member.
This is just a hypothetical. I do not believe this applies to this library. What if you had a library and the library director was doing a dismal job and the evaluation just really reflected that? How much weight does the evaluation hold? If it's an excellent one, do you get a raise? If it's horrible, could you be in danger of losing your job?
That's a great question. So I have a couple of answers for you. First, according to state statute, the library board has the power to both hire library directors and fire them. So if you felt that I was not doing a good job, you would have the ability to fire me. I would hope in a perfect world that before that happens, there's like check-ins and again, I know that you're not talking about me personally, but there's processes like the city has an HR department, and not every city does. I'm grateful we have one. So that would be available to this board. Like, for example, if there was concerns, the board could go to HR and say, like, how do we handle this? We have a improvement plan we want to put, or we have some goals we really need to set for, the director in the coming year in order to make sure that, like, we see some of these changes. So the eval is a time to both give me feedback about what I did well, what maybe I could improve on, and then there's a spot for goals. And so the board can create goals, for me as well. Sometimes I bring some suggestions as well. And then you also determine, yes, merit percentage as well. The city will say, like, employees can have up to a certain percentage, and then you look at it and go, dismal? Okay.
Exceptional.
Being a Brittany. Let's call it being a Brittany. Put that on our heads. Anyway, so that's how it works. So the good news is, like, it's a city form. It's the same evaluation form that's used for all city employees. But yes, you are the one doing the eval and deciding the merit and giving me my goals. So.
Just a quick question. So the library has adopted the city's personnel handbook with certain exceptions, correct? So if there were disciplinary issues or performance issues, we'd have to follow their guidelines, correct? So it's, well, recognizing you're still an Apple employee, and if all of a sudden you decided you were going to steal all our money, we would have the right to, terminate. But if it was a regular process, we would go through the verbal, written, all the rest of that.
And that's a good point. Yeah, aside from HR, you're right. There's an city employee manual that sort of outlines what to do when someone's not up to snuff.
Exactly.
So.
One would think in a perfect world, there shouldn't be a surprise in the evaluation.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
If we're doing it right, there should be no
should be no
surprises.
surprises.
There should be no
Right.
surprises. But I can tell you, having had to go through the process with the library board on this one termination issue with the library director, things happen, things go awry. That's why you need to have a process. I mean, it's not all perfect in library land. It's like everywhere else. So we're very fortunate that we have Brittany.
Well, but I am not perfect, and I try not to make the same mistake twice. But I'm open to feedback at all times. There's always room for growth, certainly. So,
Well, thank you for that education piece. As most of you all know, I'm a newer board member, so I really don't have a lot of experience with it, so thank you.
that's a good question. And if there's anything else, I will give a little presentation, like, about how I accomplished my goals to the full board before the end of the year, because I realized once the personnel committee was asking for feedback, but I hadn't formally talked to anyone about that, and I was like, well, now they're just guessing. That's never a good thing. So I will give a presentation closer to the end of the year that sort of talks about how I felt I met my goals, like reminder of what the goals were, and then the metrics that I feel I did, or the actions I took to meet those metrics. So hopefully it will be when you get time to ask, how did I do for the year, hopefully you will have ample information to be able to make that evaluation. So.
When does that usually start?
November is when, at the November full board meeting, that's when the personnel committee will ask for that feedback and go into closed session. And then December is usually when the personnel committee meets again to finish writing it up and then to give the eval. They are due like January 4th, but we really try to get those evals done before the end of December so that it can go to HR.
So you said there's a component with the staff, so do we do that between the board and when we meet, or?
Yeah, so I'll send an email to you guys. I actually think it would be helpful if the personnel committee spoke with the Friends of the Library president and the staff management before the full board meeting, so that if the full board was like, well, is she crazy? She's just putting on a show for us, and then the rest of the time she's an ogre? Exactly, yeah. So I think it would be helpful for you guys to have that information coming into the November meeting, so.
Okay.
I should probably get that date on the books. Yeah. day on the books as well, meeting on the books, because our schedules start to fill up, right? So
That would be good.
I will do that.
Thank you. Any communications and miscellaneous business as authorized by law? I don't think we have anything. All right, adjournment. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So,
Thank you, Dave.
I second.
Thanks, Karen. Everybody in favor of adjourning the meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Okay. We're adjourned.